Here at Paddy Power, we're the home of the Money Back Special, with some incredible offers every single week. Check out the website or app today. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Welcome back to the Racing Postcast. One of two we're bringing you lucky people out there, because Sunday is a great time to be alive, isn't it? We're over at Longchamp with the Arc Card. Joining me back in the studio, Graham Rodway from the Racing Post. Also from Ireland, David Jennings, I'm delighted to say, is with us. And Niall O'Reilly from our friends at Paddy Power. We've got to go straight into it. We've got to kick off with the Arc. It's all about history maker Enable. Paul Keeley did a little section in the Friday paper saying this is a clutching at straws exercise, trying to get her beaten. Niall, just give her exactly what price we're going to have and the main dangers in the list, and then we'll see whether that's true or not.
So Enable is 8-11. Japan is 6-1 second favourite. Sotsat 6-1. Magical 9-1. Waggy's 12-1. Gaia 12-1 and 25 Bear.
Are you going over there this year, DJ?
No, I actually wrote the race report last year, which was great. But no, not this year. I loved it last year now, but I'll be a bit envious watching on.
Is she going to win?
Yes, she is, I think. Yeah, I hope she wins, and like all logic points to the fact that she will win. I think she's better this year than she was last year. She's priced accordingly. I wouldn't be one about taking 8-11 about a horse like this. I actually think Batash is more bulletproof than Enable. People might laugh, but they're the same price. I think I'd rather back Batash at his price than Enable at her price. But I think she'll win. As regards, I actually think the race is relatively straightforward. I think Enable will win. I think Volgeist will finish second, and I think Japan will finish third. Volgeist, to me, I think if you go watch the race last year, absolutely nothing went right for Volgeist in the race last year. I actually thought it was a case of him being very, very unlucky not to finish a good bit closer. His form figures in France, as Paul Keeley alluded to in his piece, since 2018 are 5-1, 1-1, 1-1, 4-1-1. I think with Volgeist, I think his best performance in England was against Enable and Crystal Ocean in the King George, which was a cracking run, which suggests to me that Volgeist is as good as ever. He can't really beat Enable, but I think he can finish second. I think he's too big of a price each way, and I think he'll run a cracker. So Volgeist will be my second choice, and I think Japan is just a very good horse, and I think he'll finish third.
So the DJ 1, 2, 3 in the Arc, Enable to beat Volgeist, and Japan coming in third. Okay, I think that's a good way to go, G-Rod. Give us a trifecta then.
Yeah, you're not asking for
nice and easy.
Yeah, nice and easy. I was all set with these great horses like Enable and Franco I was a big fan of, but I mean Couto Star is a famous example for me. I tend to lose lots of money on them because I'm always looking
to take them on. See the stars, of course. Yeah,
that's my job really as a tipster, a Racing Post.
So you think, wasn't it? No.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fame and glory, of course.
I mean, there's loads of them down the years, that you go, well, this one, you've got to be looking to oppose, always going to make the market. And as a Racing Post tipster, really your job is to try and find one to beat him. Your job is not to sit here and say, look, Enable's going to win, because everyone else can see that Enable's the likely winner.
She's an equine cash point, isn't she? I mean, 4-6, some people would be looking at it and think it's absolute steal.
10 Group 1 wins, 2 Arcs. I mean, without doubt, one of the all-time greats. But I mean, all week, like Paul Keeley was saying, he pieced it out. I mean, I've been trying to piece together evidence as to why she could get beat. I was sitting there on tenterhooks on the draw yesterday because I had this great stat about, only 4 horses had won the Arc this century from double-figure draws. There's Dalakani and Trev, Golden Horn, and I knew one of them was going to escape me. But Sucky was the other one, sorry, who were all drawn in double figures, and they'd all run to Racing Post ratings in the 130s, 131, 132, 133, 135, I think, were the 4 figures they had.
She hasn't hit
achieved,
that, has she?
She hasn't hit that mark.
That is interesting.
She has only run to 129, so that
was at Shanty, of course, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Soft ground, yeah.
Even on her absolute best peak form, she would still be coming in behind the likes of Saki and Dalakani and Trev and Golden Horn, even though she's won more Arcs than most of them. However,
an argument for the winter, I think that's going to be, isn't it? Yeah, sure, okay.
Of course, she didn't get drawn double figures. She's got drawn in 9. And
12 runs, we should say. Lowest since 2007 when Dylan Thomas, we should say that Dylan Thomas year, if you remember, it's a pretty rough race, isn't it? So.
It was. And yeah, I mean, that, she's drawn 9 and we've only got 12. That's obviously a big difference to most years. Usually we're talking 16, 17, 18, big field, lots of trouble in running. As you say, I mean, that Dylan Thomas race I remember I was there was a long steward's inquiry after that race. So just because we've got 12 in it doesn't mean that it's going to be entirely straightforward for Enable, especially from stall 9. But you've got the man Frankie on board, don't you? I mean, is there anybody better than Frankie in Group 1s? I mean, the short answer is absolutely, definitely not. I mean, he's different class, and he will no doubt already have a plan as to how he's going to ride this race. And Enable's already shown the great thing about her is she's got absolutely loads of pace. She's got tactical speed. You can put her at the back, you can put her at the front. The way she came from behind in that King George to beat Crystal Ocean just proved to all the people that were going to knock her wrong. I find it very hard to see her being beaten. I hope she wins, and I think she will.
So what's second and third?
No, I was trying.
A long way of giving me a trifecta.
I was trying to string that out for as long as possible, so you wouldn't ask me for a second and third. I mean,
It'll be a without market, so people want to know about this, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be quite keen to oppose Sotsas. I mean, he's got the good draw on the inside in stall 1, but he's got an awful lot to find.
Good draw? I mean, yeah.
With the best of these, I mean, he's up at least £7 to find with the best of these. Japan obviously has got a huge chance, but has gone and drawn outside Enable. I mean, Ballydoyle probably can't believe their bad luck. They probably would have been thinking, if we can just get drawn inside Enable, and then she gets drawn 9, they get drawn 10 with Japan.
What about Magical?
Well, she's been beaten how many times
from 4, isn't she?
By Enable
she's
for
not that far
times.
behind her though, G. Rodolph.
No, she's
drawn inside.
She is drawn inside, but I mean, it's just every time Enable beats her up, and you think, well, she'll probably do it again. Now, obviously, if I was betting in the race, I know he's drawn right on the outside in 12, and I've already made a bad case for bad draws on the wide outside, but I think it might be factored into the price with Gayaf for Godolphin. I mean,
he's a proper Marmite horse, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I could see him being a huge price because of the draw, and I don't think he really captures the imagination either. But I mean, he did win that Grosser von Baden by 14 lengths.
It's just a bit of a mum's tipple, though. Do you know what I mean? It's like, would it be replicated anywhere else?
Yeah, I take that argument, but you're just looking purely at that run alone. If he ran to that sort of level, he could certainly be in the frame, so I could see him running really well. And there is one other. I just got to find it on my list here. I don't like Woolgeist. I mean, that horse, how many times does he have to keep getting beaten? I know he ran well, didn't he? Third.
Well, as DJ said, he just keeps winning in France, doesn't he? But...
Well, he does, yeah. But no, not for me. No, sorry, there's not another one. So yeah, that's me summing it up.
Us a forecast. All right, fair enough. Niall, you must have a trifecta.
Don't know about a trifecta, but I definitely have a forecast. Look, Enable to just win. Best horse in the world, trained by the best trainer in the world, or one of the best 2 trainers in the world, I should say. She's just been flawless this season. And the ground is ideal, the trip's ideal. She's had the ideal prep for this race. It's just very hard to oppose. For winning the King George, I just thought was a massive effort. Where she came up against the best version of Crystal Ocean, which I don't think Japan faced at York. Like, if you look at that York race, Crystal Ocean kicked 2 or 3 lengths clear. Then all of a sudden he stopped as if something was a little bit amiss, and they all closed him towards the line. I think he was a long way below form. That's why I don't really fancy Japan. I know Ryan Moore has to ride Japan here over Magical, but it's probably because he knows Magical can't beat Enable. I don't think Japan can beat Enable either. But the forecast I'm going to put up is Enable to beat Magical. I think they're probably the 2 best horses in the world in training at the moment. So Magical's just rock solid if you take Enable out of this year. Like, she won really impressively in Ireland last time. I definitely think she's definitely the one in the without market as well. The French horse Sotas, I tried to find an angle in. Okay, I think it broke the track record in the French Derby. So Cape of Good Hope wasn't beaten that far in 4th. Like, how far is he behind Magical at home in Ballydoyle? They wouldn't get within 20 lengths from the gallops, or 20 lengths of Magical on the gallop. So yeah, it's a neighbour for me, Magical for the forecast.
Well, I've got a bit more love for Sostas, I've got to say. I know what they think about this chap, and I'm so impressed with that Niel win. Okay, so in summary, Enable to win. And we've given you a few elsewhere as well. So looks like it's going to be history being made according to the other guys. Let's have a look at the rest of the card then, chaps, and we'll whittle through these. It's a fantastic card, isn't it, DJ? The Qatar Prix Marcel Boussac for fillies. I think since 2009, it's 6-4 in favour of UK horses. Will that be the way?
No, because I think an Irish horse will win it. I think Albania will win because she was in season last time in the Migler. She was sent off favourite. Didn't give her true run and was still only beaten 2.5 lengths by Love. She's a better filly than that. I spoke to Shane Foley, who knows all these inside out. Now, he loves KM Pepper, who runs in the Fillies Mile next Friday. But he did say to me on the day that I was talking to him that he did a piece of work on Albania that morning, and he said she was brilliant. So I'd say originally the plan was for Alpine Star to run here. Albania has obviously been working better than Alpine Star. That's why she's coming here. And I know she's 1 or 2 races over 6, and you might think a mile might be stretching her a bit, but I think she's almost guaranteed to get a mile. Don't think it's a particularly hot race, and think Albania will continue Jessica Harrington's incredible run with juvenile fillies.
What happened in the Rockfell, the Moyglare? She was a bit flat there, wasn't she? Oh, she was in season. Okay. I missed that one. Oh, that would explain that, wouldn't it? Because she came to sort of win the race, hit that flat spot and stayed on again. It looked to me like she wanted a mile, that's for sure. Niall, where will she sit in your market?
Albania is our 7-4 favourite, I think. Sorry, just one sec. She's our 15-8 favourite. Davern's 9-4, Bionic Woman 11-2, Mariette is 6-1, and it's 8-1 bar.
G-Rod, the market's got this as a sort of Jessica Harrington versus Andre Fabre with Savarin, who comes a little bit under the radar. Has that got any chance?
Yutaka Taki.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember him having too many rides for Andre Fabre, although obviously I'm not your resident French expert. I did
it's an Asian owner, isn't it? So
yeah, I did do a quick sort of search on Racing Post, and it said 0 for 1. But I mean, that you wouldn't be certain that all French races were covered in those results. But it's certainly an interesting booking, and we've seen Andre Fabre over the years run these sorts of lightly raced French fillies and come in and take out these sorts of races. And I certainly thought that Savarin had a better chance than his other runner, Bionic Woman, who is the Godolphin representative. But I agreed with DJ. I mean, I think last week I reeled off a bunch of top class Jessie Harrington juvenile fillies, One Voice and Albania and Alpine Star, and I didn't even mention Mill Isle, who then went and won the big race at Newmarket. So it just shows you the strength in depth she's got. And if Jessie thinks that Albania's good enough to come here as her only representative, that's good enough for me.
Yeah, if she was in season last time, that would certainly buoy you to back her there, that's for sure. Okay, let's move on. Don't forget, starts early on Sunday. So the 150, the second race on your card. The Qatar Jean-Luc Lagardère, another Group 1 for 2-year-olds, some of the top colts going here. Really interesting race. Niall, just give us the market before we hone in on a few of them.
Victor Ludorms are 5-4 favourite. Armory 7-2. Crivane is 9-2. Kenway 10-1. Helter Skelter 10-1 and 12-1 bar.
DJ, let's come to you because Armory, second to what we think is the enable line of the 2-year-old form at the moment. It's Pinatubo, isn't it? Absolutely left trailing in his wake. I've been pretty impressed with him prior to that. Should he be favourite?
I don't think so. I don't know. I think he's all right. I just haven't really warmed to him. Like, I know you can just say basically you can rank them if you want as 2 separate races. Like Pinatubo was in one race and the rest of them were in another race, and he won that other race. But Jesus Christ, like, he was beaten 9 lengths. Like, I don't know. I just can't. I just think that's a long way, no matter who you're running against. Like, in a race over 7 furlongs at the Curragh to be beaten 9 lengths. I don't know. I thought Victor Ladorum looked very good last time at Sean T. It's been all hands and heels so far from Mikel Barcelona, and I would say the Fab camp would be very disappointed if Armory beat Victor Ladorum. So I wouldn't have a strong opinion because I don't know the French form well enough, but I thought Victor Ladorum visually looked better than Armory.
It's a fascinating race, G-Rod, because you've got Victor Ladorum, who's sort of, I think we could say, a style over substance so far. I know that the Trends boys have been quite keen on him, but you're talking about like a top Racing Post rating of 111 on Armory's last win, and we've been giving Victor Ladorum 98. Okay, we may not have a great handle on that, and yes, there could be a superstar performance in him, but the market, is it right?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you look at Racing Post ratings and you see that Victor Ladorum has only achieved 98, and you've got a bunch of others in here who've already achieved a lot higher than that. Armory already, Ecrivan for
He's interesting.
Carlos Lavron-Paré, and even though the French runner, the German runner, Alson, who I think ran to an RPR 105, something like that last time. And, that was the one that's caught my eye because Frankie Dettori's booked here for Jean-Pierre Carvalho. I don't know a heck of a lot about him, to be honest with you. But, I'll tell you, just go back to Armory. Armory does remind me an awful lot of Horatio Nelson, who I think won this race for the yard, God knows how many years ago. But he looks like a sort of real tough type who just is going to continue grinding out good results in these top races. But I think he is short of top class. And I'm happy to take Victor Laudorum on because of the, you want to be seeing a bit higher RPR, I think, to be taking such a short price on him, although he looks very good. And for me, it was a toss-up between Alson and Ecrivain. And the booking of Dettori swung me in favour of Alson for the German team.
Bit of value there. Yeah, 6-4 the home team in the last 10 years have swung the verdict there. Okay, the race after the Arc, another Group 1 for you. It's the Longchamp, the Prix de l'Opera. And we think that Medaille and Terabellum will probably be heading the market. Is that how you've got it, Niall?
Yeah, we do. Medailles are 7-4 favourite. Terabellum 9-2. Watchby 6-1. Wichu 7-1 and 12-1 bar.
And are you a Medaille fan?
Yeah, this would be my nap of the Sunday.
Nice.
Medaille. I backed her a long time ago for the Arc after Chester. I just like the 3-year-old fillies angle. I seen she was left in on Monday, so I didn't get each way at 50, and then she came out on Tuesday. So I was a little bit disappointed. But when I seen this race, I understood why. Like her run behind Deirdre the last day, like she went so hard, the time backed up the performance. Deirdre came out, and you could argue that Deirdre maybe should have gone very close to winning that Irish Champion Stakes. She got no run at a crucial time and ran on really well. But that form looks very strong. Like this looks really weak to me. Gosden obviously has the second favourite. Medaille's going to be ridden by Frankie, and yeah, I think she'll definitely win. Okay,
what about you, DJ? Because Terabellum's form has been, I think, advertised in the Niel, or is this just all about the Vav?
Oh yeah, this one looks certainly, doesn't she?
Love it.
I thought it was an extraordinary performance at Goodwood. When you see the distance Hermosa, now Hermosa wasn't right, obviously Hermosa's better than that. But when you see the distance Hermosa was beaten, and the fact that Medaille was still bang there 50 yards out, and she was beaten whatever, a length and a quarter, but Frankie actually literally just accepted the situation 50 yards from the line if you watch the race again. So she was actually value for finishing a little bit closer to Deirdre, which looks like absolutely cracking form. Now, the one thing I will say, with the ground the way it is, like there's people here who'll be listening and they'll be like, oh my God, Pink Dogwood, how much have I lost on Pink Dogwood? And, she's gone sour and she's this and she's that. It could just be that she needs cutting the ground. It could just be, now Mark Boylan, who works with us here, who's a proper young judge, he is the future. And he is absolutely 100% convinced that it's just that she needs cutting the ground. So don't be surprised if you see a much better performance from Pink Dogwood. But I just think Medaille is the real improver that's going on a gradual upward curve. And as Niall says, like if you're looking for bankers on the card, if you're getting, what is she with Paddy Power at the minute? Is she 5-2 maybe? 7-4? 7-4. You might get a bit bigger on Sunday. She's going to be very hard to beat.
Yeah, O'Brien's got Goddess and Fleeting in here as well. Fleeting's one of those fillies, lass. The moment I get off her, she's going to win one. I backed Pink Dogwood in the Busak DJ last year when I went over there. I thought she was one of the bets of the day. And it was pretty soft that day, and she let me down. So I'm afraid that I'm not quite in that camp. Graham Rodway.
Yeah, I agree with the boys. Medaille was a massive run that last time at Goodwood. I thought would have won if they hadn't gone too fast in front, and would have won quite comfortably. Was only beaten by Deirdre, and Deirdre might well have won the Irish champion with more luck in running. So, the form looks rock solid, and I think Medaille will win.
So, DJ, when Silver Line goes and wins the big handicap on Saturday, which you said in our previous postcast, this is going to be the follow-up bet, is it?
No, if Silverline wins or actually finish in the first 5, I'll just be delighted.
We might not see you again if it wins. That's fair enough. Medaille then, team bet here on the postcast. That's in the Longchamp at 3.55. Moving on, it just gets better, doesn't it? The Prix de l'Abbaye. If you're going to the track, which I did last year, you're going to have to try and navigate your way for the Abbaye because you literally can't see it. It's right in the middle of the course, but we've got an absolutely sizzling lineup again, including the last 2 winners, Mabs Cross, saw off Soldier School, and Batage, who reopposes. Of course, Batage won it in 2017. Low draw we think is ideal. That's nearer the stands. But Niall, who's going to be your favourite? Batage, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he's our 4-5 favourite. Mabs Cross 8-1, Fairland 9-1, So Perfect 10-1, Spinning Memories 10-1, and it's 14-1 bar.
4-5. and 8-1 bar. That seems a bit mental to me, G-Rod, considering he was turned over in last year. I thought it was a certainty in the race last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's Batash, isn't it? So, I mean, he's the best around, bar none, by a long way. Oh, he's best. But every now and again, he don't turn up at his best for one reason or another. And I suppose that's the only real worry you've got here. I mean, he's unbeaten this season apart from when he was turned over by Blue Point when, again, I thought he really travelled through that race.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Like the winner and only really got outstayed by Blue Point on a really stiff track. And
mid-race sectionals were scary that day. But...
Yeah, and you know, Longchamp, the straight track at Longchamp is nowhere near as stiff as...
So why did he get beaten last year? I mean, what happened?
I don't know. Yeah, he was just...
I suppose it was
one
like
of those
unthought runs.
Batash runs, wasn't it? Where he just doesn't turn up on his top game, on his A game.
He has been given a wind up at the start of this season, and does seem like just a completely different animal.
Yeah, that is maybe why. Yeah, I mean, he has had the wind up, and he's looked better this season, and absolutely no doubt about it. If he turns out up on probably within £5 of his best form, he's going to win. But I'm just not sure he's a betting proposition at odds on because he's Batash, and I just don't know if I trust him to turn up in that form every single time.
Okay, let's throw this over to DJ then. The Batash enabled double is going to be really popular this week, DJ. Is that something you're interested in?
Yeah, it probably would be. I think I'd prefer Batash at the prices than Enable, to be honest. I think he should be 2 to 5, not 4 to 5. Wow. Like, you have to look at him, right, this season, okay? He had a wind up, he came back, won impressively first time out at Haydock. Then he was beaten by Blue Point, where they're on different parts of the track, and Blue Point is just a stouter stayer than Batash. Then he goes to Goodwood, and it's kind of hands and heels, didn't have a hard race. And then he produced what, in my lifetime, was the best sprinting performance I have ever seen in the Nunthorpe. It was incredible. To watch it visually, I just was watching it and I said, this is why, like, we talk about, you know, Cheltenham and why we love jump race and everything. This is one of the reasons why we love flat racing, to see sheer speed. Without doubt, the fastest horse I've ever seen in my lifetime, no question whatsoever. And I just wonder, the only worry I have about Batash is, I think he's got this ability to produce an absolute wow performance once a season, okay? So we saw that when he won last year at Goodwood, when he won, he was absolutely amazing. And then he came out next time at York and was beaten in the Nunthorpe. The year before, I thought the wow performance actually came in this race at Sean T, when he absolutely hammered Marsh on soft ground. So the only concern, and what would stop me saying that Batash is 100% an absolute certainty, is just following up that wow performance, because he hasn't done it in the last couple of seasons. But I think if he does run anywhere near his best, he is so superior to these. Like, he's in a different league. And, I know you could say 4 to 5 and 8 to 1 bar, but if you know that time and time again you're on the best horse, and there's a small chance that he mightn't back it up, you're still getting 4 to 5. It's still a nice bit of profit. I'd be shocked if he's beaten.
I think it's fair to say that Mabs Cross and Soldiers Call came into the race in better form last year. I've been with Mabs Cross the last twice. I thought she was an each way good thing in the Nunthorpe. They said it was too quick for her that day. In Ireland last time in the Flying Five, she was drawn away from it, but I'm not totally convinced about that. She was off the bridle. If you've backed her, you've been watching, you've been following her. Niall, can we get this good thing beaten with any of the aforementioned?
No. Yeah, I think he'll win. He's been very consistent this year, and I think the key to him could have been that breeding up he had at the start of the year. Like, if you watch his York run last year, when people were blaming the track and stuff, he just seemed to cut out. This year, there's been none of that. He was absolutely breathtaking at York, and I don't see any reason why this track won't suit him. He's just the best horse by a considerable margin. I think he'll definitely win, yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to say definitely again. There's a lot of certainties on this card, though.
I'll tell you what, this is shaping up to be some card. And bringing the curtain down on it then is the final race, the 5:05 Qatar Prix de la Forêt, the 7th furlong specialist. And one of my bets of the weekend is in this. Before I give you that, let's go to the market with Niall.
So City Light is our 5 to 2 favourite. Sir Dancelot 5 to 1, Safe Voyage 13 to 2, One Master 13 to 2, Glorious Journey 9 to 1, Wallpap 11 to 1, and it's 12 to 1 bar. I
mean, they can all just sort of trail in the wake of One Master, lads, in this, can't they? G-Rod, I mean, she just wins again, doesn't she?
I don't know. I wouldn't be so sure. No, you had a massive price last year, wasn't she, when she won?
Don't talk me out of it now. Yeah, I was there. It was a really, really messy race. But
yeah, 33 to 1.
She's 7 furlongs, soft ground. She's got the draw. Budo's on again. it's just all perfect for her, isn't it?
Yes, but there's a lot of others in this race who caught my eye. I mean, Hagerman's obviously going to go forward from stall 3, and I just got, sometimes as a punter you just get a sneaky feeling that horse is going to run well, and usually when you get that sort of sneaky feeling, they usually do.
Back to the cash point.
Yeah, I just got a sneaky feeling that Safe Voyage is going to run really, really well here.
Ranky's on. DJ, we can hear you purring in the background, or are you crying disdain?
Let Graham make the case. I really fancy him as well. Go on.
I just got this feeling that he's going to run well. And he's a 7 furlong heavy ground specialist, and he ran an absolute stormer to finish 3rd behind Romanised and Hagerman in the Minstrel Stakes. Now, Romanised obviously has come out and appears to be a massively improved performer, having won a Group 1 race, then should have been given the one last time. And then last time out at Newbury was finishing behind Glorious Journey and Labrisa Breeze. Now, I know that I think DJ thinks the Glorious Journey is like the second coming, but I mean, Labrisa Breeze is a very smart horse on his day anyway, and ran right up to form that day. And Safe Voyage, I thought, ran very, very well behind them. And he's drawn 2 here. I just thought that was a perfect draw to get a nice trail into the race behind Hagerman. And he stays the distance very well, which I think is quite important on this 7 furlong track at Leopardstown. It's one of those where they turn into the straight and it just seems to take forever to get to the winning post. Is it that second winning post? I'm not sure. But I just got this.
You never really know where it is in France, never mind Longchamp.
Is it there? Oh, we're going past the winning post. Oh, no.
I sat on Sky and got it wrong a few times, trust me.
The angle changes and then you got to go another 15 years. But no, I mean, Safe Voyage, I just got a sneaky feeling Safe Voyage is going to run really well at good price in this one.
Okay, and DJ, obviously you're going to... the suspense was taken away from your tip there, DJ.
Yeah, look, City Light is favourite and deserves to be favourite, has got an absolutely cracking chance and could well win and is probably the most likely winner. But I thought it was very impressive last time over the course and distance, but it's priced accordingly. I've been telling everybody all week that Safe Voyage was overpriced. There was a bit of 14s, there was 12s everywhere. I just couldn't understand it. Like, if you go back to the Newbury one last time, the thing that people have to realise, he got really, really warm, he sweated up badly, and he was really keen in the first part of the race. And I thought he did incredibly well to finishing as close to Glorious Journey as he did. The time before against Romanised, that was a 7 furlong track record at the Curragh. It was an incredible performance by Romanised that day. You're kind of thinking, Romanised just got his chance. Then he's come out and basically won 2 Group 1s over a mile his next 2 starts. The time before that, Safe Voyage was very impressive on heavy round at Haydock. Won at Haydock the time before that and won at Haydock the time before that. All over 7, all with cutting the ground. Drawn in stall 2 should be perfect. I'd say Frankie will hopefully sit 2nd or 3rd, get a nice toe into the race. It's just a case of he just needs one gap to open early in the home straight. I think if it does on that ground, I think Safe Voyage is going to be very hard to beat. Now, he's only 13-2 with Paddy Power now, so the 12s is gone. But even at 13-2, I think he's a decent each-way proposition.
I was thinking that about Polydream in the race last year when I needed a winner badly after Batage. Come on, just get the gap. It didn't come. Niall, anything other than to add than what the lads have gone for so far?
I didn't think I'd have an opinion on this race really at all, but I happened to be just discussing with one of the other lads on my team, which happens to be my boss, just before the race, and he put one up to me, which is very interesting the more I look at it. Forever in Dreams, trained by Aidan Fogarty. Now, I quite liked it at Haydock last time in the Sprint Cup. It was very disappointing behind Hello Humes and beating 8 lengths. I didn't know there was an excuse for that, but apparently it scoped badly, which definitely makes it interesting here. Now, it's never run over the trip before, but this race tends to be won by sprinters, in my opinion. She handled soft ground quite well. Like, if you go back to her Ascot run, she was 2nd behind Advertise with Hello Humes in 3rd and 10 Sovereigns in 4th. Like, that's amongst the best form around here. And as a 3-year-old filly, she's getting plenty of weight. She's drawn in 5, I think, which looks ideal. And she's 25-1 in places, which definitely looks worth backing each way, because out from the ones that the lads mentioned there, I don't think this is a strong race, really. So, yeah, Forever in Dreams for me, massively overpriced at 25.
Advertised form previously would tie her in with One Master, who I think you're all mad not backing that. But listen, it's time for what you've all been waiting for. On Sunday, the Naps.
This will not be beaten.
Niall O'Reilly, one from Longchamp, please. Just one that people are desperate to back.
I'm just going to put up a double because it would be 355 Longchamp a day, but I'm going to throw an Able in there, 305 Longchamp as well as a double.
Okay, Medaya, Longchamp, the fillies double. DJ?
Safe Voyage, 505 Longchamp.
Safe Voyage all the way. Graham?
Well, I would have gone for Safe Voyage too, but I will throw up instead Alson in the 150 at Longchamp. And if that comes in, Safe Voyage and an Able, what a day that would be for Frankie.
For Frankie, yeah, we could be talking about that big time in the news next week, couldn't we? And of course, Maddie will be in the chair next week on Monday to review these races. Oh, what a card we've got for you. If you like this show, don't forget, of course, to rate, review it, make your comments underneath. There's loads to be talking about. Be lucky out there. Thanks for listening.
So, does an each-way bet mean that my horse has to do part of the race in reverse?
Everyone loves a newbie. That's why Paddy Power Games are giving all new customers 60 free spins on daily jackpot games. New Paddy Power Games customers only. One per customer. T's and C's apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.